Okay, in this tutorial we're going to look at the lighthouse. I'm going to first of all show you what the lighthouse should look like. Of course I'm not going to show you the flow diagram, but I'm going to sort of show you what the lighthouse should do. So I'm going to run my flow diagram's hidden. So output 1 and 2 are flashing. There's a short delay in between them. So output 1 is the main part of the lighthouse. Output 2 is the foghorn. Older lighthouses had a foghorn which would protect the ships for them to sort of remember that there's rocks nearby. So we've got our ship there. So they're flashing. Output 3 is inside the lighthouse. So if it's a foggy, gloomy, horrible day, obviously we need to have some lights on in our lighthouse. Now the sun is our input. Our sun is controlling what is happening to our outputs. So our input, our sun, is very white, as if there's no sun coming through. There's clouds in the sky, there's the fog. If I turn the sun so it becomes yellow, what you'll notice now, because I've obviously done the solution, there is no flashing of output 1 and output 2, and there's the house lights, output 3, have been turned off. If I remove it again, there you go, it will start up again, the flashing will happen. Okay, so I'm just going to pause it there. Okay, so you may need a few reminders about flowol, and then the critical thing is where you have an input. So we said, didn't we, that the sun is controlling what happens. So we need our system to ask the question here, is the sun white or is it yellow? Our symbol for asking a question is our decision symbol, which is there, so I can drag that on. So now here is the place where I can start to add the question. Is input 1, because that's what its label is, on? Okay. So if it's on, what do I want to do? Now obviously with a question, so I'm just going to put some shapes in. I'm just going to put something random in there. There we go. Obviously there's no output 5. This is just to demonstrate the arrows. So the first thing I would want to do is I'd put my arrow here. Now when you have a question, the computer and the system being very logical, you can only have a yes and a no. So in order to get your arrows for yes, so for example, if I did want to say turn output 5 on, I don't, there's no output 5, but if I did, I would click yes and then click my symbol. Okay, so then if it was no and I wanted it to come back round and keep asking that question, I've created my loop, and it will loop round and it will continue to ask the questions. Your task is to create I've not given you the answer, so please don't copy that, because that is wrong. But your task is to create the flow diagram to have that lighthouse working as you saw at the start of the video.